Hi, this is a message for the Chief Constable of Merseyside, John Murphy. Hello, sir. My name is John Taylor. What is I've been fighting in my corner for the last 5.5 years to prove my innocence to numerous police stations. Kirby being the main one. Kirby Police Station. Kirby Police Station are failing in their duty and also failing in their duty and neglect by not taking a statement from me whatsoever or not doing any formal investigation, which they're saying they're doing. They're doing formal investigations. Every time I reported anything to Kirby Police Station to prove my innocence, that I was wrongly sent to jail, these officers, Sergeant Chatterton, Constable Kilshaw, Constable Searsman, Constable Worthington, Constable Foster, also the inspectors, were impeding that. Making it difficult for me. They would not take any statements from me or whatsoever, so I handwritten statements and passed them in. I'd like to know where all these statements have gone. I'd like to know what information and what evidence you had to arrest me on them charges as well. I'd like a disclosure that went into Kirby Police Station of these officers, what arrest did they do, times, dates, and what was said. Because these officers are saying that these were reported over a number of years, over 12 months to 2 years, which KHC Housing, Steve French, has confirmed no complaints were made to them. Now, surely to God, if there's been harassment in the block of flats in the housing area where people live, the housing have got to know about these complaints. Now, what I'm saying to you is, the housing never had any complaint about me whatsoever. So the police have a neighbourhood team that work with the housing, which is KHC, which is Sergeant Chatterton, Constable Kilshaw, Constable Searsman, Constable Foster, Constable Worthington, and the inspectors obviously is the inspector that's now currently is Inspector Munro. Now there was also being Inspector Tammy Garvey-Jones and Inspector Carter. But what I'm saying to you is the Chief Constable of Merseyside, if there's no complaints being made to the housing over a number of 3 years about me, John Taylor, how can you be evicted from premises? How can you be evicted from the premises that you live in, that were made up crimes, that these officers were just arresting me in the town centre, they were arresting me in the inn shops, they were arresting me everywhere, they even arrested me in the tent. These officers, when I was outside Kirby Police Station camping in a protest against these officers. How can I put it this way? I put a complaint in to you, the Chief Constable of Merseyside, which I hold accountable, that I put a complaint in. You sent me a letter back, Chief Constable of Merseyside, or one of your PRs or something like that, sent me a letter back saying 15 counts of neglect of duties from these officers. Why were these officers able to arrest me and make up crimes again and try and get me sent to prison again? Why was this allowed? Why was this allowed? Surely to God, when a complaint's gone in about these officers and they've got to stay away from me, surely it becomes a conflict of interest. Now what I'm saying to you is, we have formed a group now of wrongful arrests and police corruption. We have formed a group now. You will receive a letter in the next couple of days from my colleague who is representing us. But what I'm saying to you as the Chief Constable of Merseyside, you need to look at all these crimes. You took me to court, John Taylor versus the Chief Constable of Merseyside, right? You should know all about these cases. Your officers have lied and committed perjury. Your officers have lied and committed perjury, and what that judge listens to on his little pedestal, I have not got a clue what he gets up there. I have not got a clue, but he shouldn't believe the police. If there was no evidence whatsoever, there was no evidence. It was lies, it was committed perjury, it was a set-up. It was a set-up. Everyone in my community know I've been set up. Everyone know. Everyone know. You cannot say that's not a police beating when I'm getting beaten. If you look lower down on my Facebook, you will see a video of a police beating. That is a beating. If you can't see the Facebook, if you go on John Taylor arrest on YouTube and type them words in, John Taylor arrest, you'll see the police beating as well. But what I'm saying to you, the Chief Constable of Merseyside, is that you need to arrest these officers and bring them in, especially the one that's retired from the force, Constable Searing. He's not a well person. He's not a well person in the head. Also, you've sent me to psychiatric as well for an analysis evaluation. The doctor turned around and said, "What the hell are you doing here?" to me, and rang your inspector up at the time and said, "What are you doing sending a perfectly sane man here?" Now, what I'm saying to you is, this is all to discredit me for the beating. Now, what I'm saying to you is that you will receive a complaint in the next few days. I would like you to act on it, please. It's a legal binding document. Also, I'm holding you accountable for these crimes that have never been committed, that I was sent to prison wrongly. Also, I've had a conviction overturned from one of the liars that lied in court. Now, surely to God, if I get found guilty in a magistrate's and I go to the Crown and it was just absolutely 100% innocent, it was 100%, it brings the case into doubt. Brings the case into doubt that one has lied, that the other needs to be investigated. Yeah, that I was sent to prison again for another 12 months. Now, the conviction was laughing when I went to prison and done 6 months for laughing. Also, I went on to remand for another 10 charges. How can you have assault and common assault and victimisation, harassment, intimidating behaviour? There was 10 charges. There was 10 charges there, which everyone was looking at each other in court, and that was dropped as well by the CPS if I pleaded not guilty. Now, doesn't this stem that these officers were harassing me? It's obvious. It's obvious. If it's the same officers all the time. There were 7 officers 2014 in October. They were sending me to prison as well. There was another case. There was going to be another Crown Court case with 7 officers. These are still the same officers that were doing it. Whatever way you look at it, Chief Constable of Merseyside, John Murphy, it's the same officers all the time. So if it's the same officers all the time, it's got to be suspicious, Hanny. It's got to, for petty little things. You're not talking about like going into a bank and holding a gun up and saying, "Give me your money." You're talking about petty little things, made up crimes that are being sent to prison for. But what you've done, you've took my liberty away. You've took my liberty away. You've lost me my job, my home, everything else. You've lost me my clothes, my furniture and everything else. And this KHT officer, enforcement officer, Steve French, needs to be arrested as well, because he is corrupt as well. He is corrupt. He is an accessory to the fact that lies is being told in the court. Lies is being told in the court, and he's lied to cover for these officers. He had a relationship with Sergeant Chatterton that was covering Sergeant Chatterton, and these two keep in contact. So what I would say to you is, please, I'm asking you to do a formal investigation, urgent, ASAP. Now, what I'm saying to you is, this stems back from 2010. There's evidence there that I was wrongly put in prison as well. Then vehicles were sold, my name was signed to DVLA. So therefore, it's fraud. If someone signed your name, it's ID theft. Would you agree? It's ID theft. Kirby Police have got all the information that my vehicles, my cars were sold, and DVLA were informed that it was me sending these letters and that and everything else. DVLA have confirmed with me fraud has been committed. Give this to Merseyside Police. Kirby Police have took all the documentation from DVLA, and it's gone missing. It's gone missing. So what I'm asking you is, say, I'm holding you accountable. I will not stop fighting for this. I will hold you accountable. But let me just say this to you. We will be protesting. We will not stop until this is out in the open, until we get a formal investigation done. Because you are accountable for these. Whether it goes on for a year, 2 years or whatever, we're coming for you, the Chief Constable of Merseyside. We will have you in court. We're holding you responsible and accountable. We've sent our complaint letters in. We want you to act on these complaint letters. We need you to do a formal investigation. We don't want constables investigating our things. We want high-ranking officers, CID, coming in and investigating these. We need internal into these officers, an internal investigation. You could, even though Constable Season has left the force, he still needs to be accountable as well for the lies he told and charged. Right? He has left. I'm holding you responsible, the Chief Constable of Merseyside, so please do an investigation. I've been to prison so many times, I've been arrested so many times. This has got to stop, this has got to stop. You've took my liberty away, and I want my liberty back. I want my life back, I want my job back, I want my company back. I want everything back. I want to live my life, right? But I'm never, ever, ever going to stop giving up for this. This is my fight, and I'm telling you now, act and do an investigation. So I'll see you soon anyway, here, Chief Constable Merseyside. And I hope you don't retire. I hope you do an investigation, please, because I'm holding you responsible and accountable. So I hope you read the complaints that have been sent in by my colleague, and I hope you do an investigation. So, see you soon, Mr. John Murphy, Chief Constable Merseyside. Bye.